Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh, and a very good morning. Really sorry for the technical problem just now. Thank you, Ms. Chairperson, for the introduction. And first and foremost, I would like to thank my kuliah, AHAS, IKHS, and IIIT for giving me the opportunity to be part of this program. And the title of my presentation this morning is on the challenges of Muslim public relations practitioners in the disruptive era. So this is not going to be something new to the Muslim PR practitioners out there, but just a call to reflect on the PR approaches and action in responding to the dynamic situation at the moment. Now, my content will be covering several aspects. The first one is by looking at the role of public relation in general, by examining several selected definitions of public relation given by scholars. And after that, we are going to zoom into the Muslim PR practitioners, their responsibilities and role. And finally, by looking at the challenges that Muslim PR practitioners have to undergo in the current situation. Now, so what is public relation? Those who have studied public relation, I'm sure you are very clear with this, yeah? Because PR is about managing communication, managing effective communication, helping the organization to communicate with its diverse stakeholders. And who are these stakeholders? The stakeholders could be individuals, organization, or any entity that can affect or be affected by the action of the organization. So meaning that both stakeholder and organization, they are affecting one another. Okay, for example, employees is one of the most important stakeholder to any organization. Now, when you have productive employee, for example, or hardworking employees, now these will contribute a lot to the success of the organization. And at the same time, organization action and decision, and including policy, would affect employee either positively or negatively. So this is how crucial employees is to the organization, and not to forget other stakeholders that organization is depending on. Now, different organization will be dealing with different stakeholders, obviously, yeah. But through effective communication, public relation practitioner will be able to pursue another significant role, which is to manage relationship or to establish relationship. Yeah, and a strong and meaningful relationship really matters for organization, because through that, organization will be able to get support from its diverse stakeholders. Right? For example, let's say if we take an example of Samsung product. So those who are loyal to Samsung, or the loyal customer, will continuously support Samsung, regardless if there are many other reputable brands around, but they will continue to support because of that strong relationship that they have with the brand and the trust that they have with the brand. Okay, now the role of communication and relationship just now are very much reflected in the definition of PR itself. Yeah, so in this presentation, I have selected a few very dominant definitions of PR that have been propagated by different scholars, and these are mainly scholars coming from the dominant paradigm, yeah, because their definition are very dominant in literature. Now, there are 6 different definitions here, and that shows there is no single definition when it comes to PR. And the definition continue to evolve, and that will also influence or shape the practices. Yeah. So if you look at the definition here, one thing which appear to be in common is they are talking about PR role in managing communication, and PR role in establishing relationship, and they are talking about a mutually beneficial relationship with organization and its stakeholders or public. Yeah, so these effective communication and turning into a good relationship will engender trust. And this is what the organization wants. They want to get the trust and to get constant support from its various stakeholders. Yeah, so as we can see from there, yeah, communication and relationship are the core function of public relation. Without communication, there won't be any relationship, right? Now, just to refresh and to look at the diversity of public relation work, yeah. So based on literature, these are among the diverse work that PR do, yeah. For example, they do counseling, not counseling as in the field of psychology, but they counsel or give advice to the management. Yeah, meaning that they give advice in terms of communication, building reputation, and many more that is within their scope. However, in order to do the counseling or the advising role, PR must be part of the dominant coalition. They have to be part of the management team so that they will be able to influence and advise directly. Now, the second role which is important here is to pursue research or to do research every now and then. Now, why research is important? Because PR has a role to make sure that whatever information that they crafted or share is the truth. So they have to verify, they have to check, they have to collect data, yeah, to come up with the truth and share it with the stakeholders. Now, the other one is PR is also involved in media relation, where they are dealing with the media, and the media appear to be a very important stakeholders now for all organizations, even though most organizations nowadays have their own social media to communicate with the public, but they still depend on the mainstream media, yeah, for publicity and for in order to create awareness. Now, moving on is the publicity. Yeah, this is one of the crucial role as well, where PR will be generating material, crafting information, yeah, to get publicity from the media. Okay, an employee relation, where employee appear to be another important stakeholder to all organization. So how does PR help organization to communicate and to build good relationship with employees? Yeah, and then we have government affairs or government relation, where government is another stakeholder that is important to all organizations. They are the one who impose regulation, they are doing regulation for organization to apply, and PR will be assisting organization to negotiate, to deal with the government agency. Yeah, and then issues management and crisis management. Now, besides just communicating and managing relationship, PR also responsible to help organization to manage issues, to anticipate issues and to manage issues, yeah, and try to contain issues so that it won't become a crisis to the organization. But when a crisis sparks, another role of PR here is to manage crisis, yeah, especially in terms of communicating the crisis, communicating to the stakeholders so that the crisis can be easily contained, yeah, and lessen the impact of the crisis. And financial relation is when we are dealing with the financial community. And the list did not stop there. I'm just giving you the main area where PR is involved in. Okay, now we zoom into the Muslim public relation practitioners. Yeah, what differentiate Muslim PR practitioners and their non-Muslim counterparts? So that is what we are trying to explore today, isn't it? Yeah. So Muslim PR practitioners are those they understand firmly about their purpose of creation, yeah, which is to serve Allah Subhanahu wa Taala. And this brings me to the second slide here. Yeah, so the purpose of creation, which is not only which is to serve Allah, and serving Allah doesn't mean it's limited only to specific ibadah, yeah, like prayer, giving zakah, performing pilgrimage. It's not limited to that, but all aspects of life can be converted into ibadah. Yeah, if we have sincere intention, meaning that our intention is to please and to for the sake of Allah and to do our work properly, yeah, as being guided by Islam. Okay, so these are very important and what differentiate Muslim PR practitioners and the non-Muslim. And there are two ayah that I have selected here. The first one is from Surah Al-Dhariyat. Allah said, I did not create the jinn and the human except that they may serve me. And the other ayah is from Surah Al-An'am, verse 162, that the ayah say, surely my prayer, my sacrifice, my life, and my death are all for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So that's very clear cut that our life, whatever that we do in our life, any activity that we do, including work, is actually for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So I just come up with a simple definition here in order to define Muslim practitioners. It's referring to those who practice public relation based on Islamic principles and value, particularly in communication, to uphold and advocate truth and justice to both organization and the stakeholders. Now, what are the challenges of Muslim PR practitioner in the disruptive era? Now, the disruptive era here is characterized by the rapid technological advancement, corporate failures and crises that happen almost every day, of all which present unique challenges for Muslim PR practitioners to perform their role. Because PR has a dual obligation just now, which is to serve Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and to do their work, to accomplish whatever task that have been given to them. Okay, so in this session, I aim to unpack several challenges. I selected 3 challenges here. The first one is to balance organizational goal and the stakeholder interests. The second one is managing communication in the face of widespread of misinformation, disinformation, and even malinformation. And the third one is to restore trust amid corporate failures and crises. Okay, so let's take a look at the first one. Now, balancing organizational goal and stakeholder interests, which is in a way embedded in the definition of PR. What makes PR special as compared to other field is PR tend to serve not only the organization per se, but also trying to meet the stakeholders' interests. So here, but however, there are tendency for practitioners to influence public opinion for the benefit of the organization, that can sometimes put the interests of the public at stake. So the inclination to meet the interests of the peer master or the interests of the elite, which include organization, appear to be a priority. Now, these are the somewhat how the critical scholars view public relation. In a way, they are also questioning about the role of PR in organization. For example, I've quoted a few here, and what they have in common is they tend to see PR as an instrument used by the elites, including organization and the powerful entity, to construct reality or to influence them to be in favor of the organization. And the ultimate goal here is to maintain in power, or to get more from the stakeholders. So these are the criticism that they put in, that make us reflect back. Okay, how is it possible to meet the interests of the many stakeholders that involved in everyday dealing? Okay. Now, coming to that, I would like to address about the issue of justice. The issue of justice, where we have to be just. Even in our communication. Now, obviously, in this ayah, Surah Al-Ma'idah, verse number 8, it says that all believers, and that applies to all of us, regardless of our profession, and public relation is not excluded, stand firm for Allah and bear true testimony. Do not let the hatred of the people lead you to injustice, and be just, that is closer to the righteous, and be mindful of Allah. Surely Allah is all aware of what you are doing. Okay, so this ayah, in a way, remind us that we have to always uphold the truth, Yeah, because the truth, when we share information, for example, when PR practitioners share information, the stakeholder are using the information to make decision. Okay, for example, if they release information to the investor, so the investor will scrutinize the information and make decision based on the information given to them. Yeah, so if the information is not verified or not updated or is not correct, so the implication will be on the shareholders who will be making a wrong decision. Yeah, and another example that I would like to share here is let's say during a pandemic. Yeah, we had a pandemic few years ago and it still stay with us. Now, during pandemic, information is really crucial because we have to empower everybody, regardless of who they are, where they are. Yeah, we have to communicate and inform them what they're supposed to do. And as communicator, the role is to make sure the information is given to them or really reach them. Okay, and how it best to reach these various stakeholders, because some of them may not be living in the urban area or in town. They are living in remote area, in the rural area, which is very hard to reach. So the role of communicator here is to make sure that the media that we use really reach to them. And at the same time, we have to also be mindful and make sure that the message that we have crafted able for them to digest or understand. Yeah, they have to comprehend, and understand the information so that they can also protect themselves and their family. Yeah, and that is also part of being justice, because you are making sure that they are not deprived from information. Yeah, they have to save their life as well. All right, so that is where effective communication play a role. Effective communication is not only about conveying information, and once people get the information, that's the end of your task. But convey information, making sure they're able to understand, they're able to act upon, once they get the information, in order to protect them or for their good well-being. All right. Now, there are many other ayah. I've just selected two here from Surah Al-An'am and also from Surah An-Nisa, where being justice is not only in business dealing, okay, but we also have to speak and maintain justice. Yeah, we have to uphold the truth and justice, even though it involves our close relative and or family. Yeah, I think that these two ayah mentioned that very clearly. Or even we have to do justice even with our enemy. With our parent and with people who are rich or people who are poor. And even if we don't like someone or certain group of people, that should not deviate ourselves from being just to them. So these are very clearly mentioned in the Quran, and it should be applied in our daily dealing, especially now. Now, the second challenge that I would like to share here is managing communication in the widespread of misinformation, disinformation, and even malinformation. This is due to the technological advancement that proliferate the emergence of digital platforms. Okay, now I'm sure misinformation, disinformation, malinformation have been very much saturated nowadays, because when we talk about misinformation is where people are being spreading information out of ignorance. They may not know that that's not true, but they continue to share because they believe it's true. And that is like everywhere. Because now we have netizens, there are billions of them, and they're sharing information non-stop, and there are no gatekeepers to monitor them or to stop them from doing so. Unlike the mass media. In the mass media, the structure allows for many gatekeepers to really vet all the information before it get to be released. Yeah, so the misinformation is very dangerous, because if the misinformation is being influencing opinion, yeah, that will again shape action of the public out there. And the other one is the disinformation. Disinformation is when people purposely create untrue story, yeah, untrue facts, and spread it out with the intention to harm individuals or organization. Right? And people can easily do this because the social media allow them to do it. Yeah, and the malinformation is another dangerous set of information where people use facts. It may be the truth, but they extract certain fact and spread it out of context, and people tend to believe in it. Yeah, so these three type of communication have been widespread, and what would be, and this could also challenge organization, yeah, because organization could also bear some consequences because of the misinformation, disinformation, and malinformation. Okay, so the role of PR here is to advocate truth in the midst of rampant problem just now. Okay, and in this context, the truth will be very much challenged by other voices, because information is coming from multiple directions. Yeah, the social media especially is very noisy. There are so many of them, and the truth may be challenged by all these voices and noises. Yeah, and the role of PR to monitor information, yeah, be it offline or online, is really crucial. Yeah, PR have to monitor and encounter false information immediately in order to stop that wrong information to be circulated even further. Yeah, so media monitoring, yeah, and social media listening, meaning that you are listening to the social media. You are, yeah, PR are supposed to examine and scrutinize whatever being posted, shared, or even the response that they get, yeah, after they have posted something. They have to scrutinize that very carefully, because this could be, the information could be wrong, or they may simply say something which is not true, yeah, and we have to, PR have to respond to that. Yeah, and once the correct information or the truth have been crafted, it's very important for PR practitioner to use the effective communication to communicate and to ensure that it appear and being, saturated in the environment, so that people won't miss that truth. Yeah, so the value of repeating the information using multiple media platform, yeah, is again very important, so that the truth will prevail. Now, with regards to upholding the truth, it's very much emphasized in the Quran, and there are many verses talking about speaking the truth, upholding the truth. Yeah, I've selected three surah here from Al-Imran and Al-Baqarah and Surah Al-Ahzab, where the ayah, the verse mentioned about why do you confound the truth with falsehood and conceal the truth when you know the reality. Yeah, so most of the time, PR practitioner, they have access to information, and they are responsible to share information. Yeah, but sometimes there are situations where they may have constraint to inform everything or to share everything, meaning that when they share information, the information will be framed toward a certain angle. Yeah, and that need to be taken or to be seen or to be handled very carefully, because we don't want the information that we share tend to deviate or to mislead the readers, okay? Especially when we know the truth. Yeah, so concealing the truth, confounding the truth with falsehood, is again very much prohibited, yeah, in Islam. Yeah, and all the three ayah are talking about the same thing. And the third ayah there, from Surah Al-Ahzab, Allah mentioned, "O believers, be mindful of Allah and say what is right." Okay, that's clearly about communication and information. Now, crafting information or even getting information and sharing it should also be covers the option of verifying. Yeah, we have to verify information that we have received. Yeah, either we have received it from our boss or we have received it from other stakeholder. It is our responsibility to verify. It is our responsibility to research on it. Yeah, and that is our duty. Yeah, because we are the guardian of information for the organization. So verifying, again, is clearly mentioned in the Quran. Yeah, Allah say, "Oh, you believe? If a sinful person bring you a report, verify its correctness, lest you should harm a people out of ignorance and then become remorseful on what you did." Yeah, so that is also a duty for all Muslim PR practitioners. Okay, the third one is about the third challenge that we're trying to unpack today is about restoring trust amid corporate failures and crises. So corporate failures and crises, now it's like a common thing, yeah. And because of corporate failures, that in a way affect the trust that being held by the stakeholders. And same goes to the crisis. Okay, for example, there are many classic examples that happened in the past, like the Deepwater Horizon oil spill, yeah, where the issue is not only about the oil spill, the issue now is not about the tanker that spill crude oil into the ocean, but the issue is about how the organization communicate to the public. Yeah, how the organization respond to the crisis, especially in terms of their communication part. Yeah, so here you get to see it appear in the news. Yeah, BP CEO apologizes for thoughtless oil spill comment. So the comment appeared to backfire. Yeah, where they appear to be selfish, thinking only about their profit and not thinking about the affected people. So crisis communication should be managed, yeah, by the PR people, and it's important for PR to advise the management and guide them through how they should be responding in this critical situation so that it won't become a second crisis. Because most of the time, poor communication will spark a second crisis, which is even the first crisis is so hard to handle. Yeah, what more when you are being attacked by the media because of your thoughtless comment. Yeah, and these are somewhat current issues. Yeah, where again about the honesty, the integrity of organization, where they are hiding the truth even though they know what is going on, and that affect the public a lot. Yeah, what happened to Facebook when their data are being used for political purposes and they know about it, but they did not inform the stakeholders. Yeah, and the issue that is coming up in Malaysia right now, where people are demanding for transparency to explain what is actually happening because they would like to know as it affected them as well. Okay, so during critical time, like in crisis, it is very important for practitioners to be mindful of what they are saying. Yeah, and if they are not the spokesperson, they should be advising the management on how best to respond. Yeah, be it to the media, be it to the community. Yeah, because during critical situation, you are not only dealing with their demand, but you are dealing with their feeling. Okay, they are expecting something and they are feeling something right now. Maybe they are very angry, they are very sad, they are very frustrated. So how do you deal with that? Because that is part and parcel of effective communication. Effective communication is not only about conveying information, like I said just now, but really understand your public or really understand your stakeholders. Okay, So when you listen to your stakeholders, when you understand them, then PR will be able to respond to them accordingly without even hurting them. And in the Quran, it has mentioned many guidelines. Yeah, be gentle. Yeah, pardon them, seek forgiveness for them. Yeah, consult them in the matter. So all these are about is what Allah have command us to do, and which we can apply in our daily living. Okay, including as a PR practitioner. And even when the question being asked by the community or by the media are very provocating, yeah, but we still have to speak in a nice manner using soft word, as clearly mentioned in the ayah below. Okay, so these are among guideline, yeah, that is already there in the Quran for public relation practitioners to just adopt and apply. Okay, the next one is again a crisis that has happened. Yeah, for example, in Malaysia, there was an issue about the Malaysian train crash, where the issue was not only about the crash but lack of empathy that happened because the chairman did not address the media accordingly. Yeah, and the crisis that happened to United Airlines, where the passenger being removed violently, and there is no, right is not given to the passenger, even though they have bought the ticket, and they are being forced to leave the seat because the seat appeared to be overbooked, and that happened to reputable organization, not just small organization, unknown organization. This happened to well-known, reputable organization, and the issue become bigger because of the communication aspect is not being properly managed, and addressed. Now, by looking at that, I'm sure PR practitioners are very properly trained, and they know what they're supposed to do. They understand how to manage communication effectively. However, what appeared to be taken for granted is maybe the issue of reflecting, where we have to reflect, on whatever action that we do. Okay, always have to reflect and be sensitive, towards the stakeholder or towards the public out there, because our action will influence them or will affect them to some extent. And in the Quran, there are many verses that talks about reflection. Allah wants us to reflect on His creation so that we are aware about the supremacy of Allah, and to reflect on the Quran, because there are so many reminders, there are so many guidance for us that we can use to apply, and that guidance is evergreen. You can use it at any time. So the value of self-reflection is very important and should be embedded in the practice of PR as well. So when we reflect, that will enable us to identify our own weaknesses, to identify the consequences of our action to other stakeholders, which is very important, so that we won't be contributing to the negative effect that has happened in the crisis. So that's the value of reflection, that should be in our daily practice. Okay, so I think that will be all from me.